Today on the Handy Hunter, I'm going to show you how to build the ultimate sled feeder. All right guys, we got our old feeder here. We're going to decommission it today. She's been a good old Betsy, served us well, but her day's over. We took everything off of it, the solar, the box, the spinner, and this old three-legged, we call it the short leg feeder because it's about a foot shorter on one of them than the other. So we needed to build a new feeder, cutting edge feeder that we can move around. So that's what this video is all about. But before we do that, we want to have a moment of silence for Betsy's time in the field. Now let's pull it. Guys, we have built the ultimate sled feeder. This thing is unbelievably cool. We just pulled it back to our hog spot. The neat thing about this feeder is that we needed a feeder that we can move because we're moving this from where one of our food plots is for deer, and we want to move it back here in this hollow area by a creek where we pull in some hogs back here. So we want to be able to move it back and forth, and just couldn't move one of those old three-legged feeders around all the time. So we built this ultimate feeder here, and we just pulled it through. I'll show you. We just pulled this a long ways from camp, and just pulled it through this little muddy ditch here, and this 2-inch pipe on the bottom of this thing. It's really nice because it just really rides nice on the ground. So here's a good look at it. It's got our solar panel on top, and we get a little bit of sun back in here. We're in a little opening here, and you can see all the corn on the ground. We've got some major hogs back in here, so we're gonna have some fun back here. But there's our feeder, guys. Thing's super nice. Got the varmint cage on the bottom, and got it all hooked up. It's very secure, rides really good, and we're really pumped about this. Been wanting one of these for a while. Just decided to, been thinking about it, and then I designed it and just built it. So looks really good, real happy with it. And the cool thing about it is it's not that high, so I can literally take this lid off and pour a 50-pound bag of corn in it myself without really having to stand on anything. But if I need to stand on something, I can stand on this bar right there, which is really nice. Thing's super sturdy, and we're about to put it to good use. So hope you guys enjoy this. All right guys, so we're gonna load her up with corn and turn her on. Yeah, nice. All right, let's hit the test button. All right, careful. These 12-volt feeders, like slinging buckshot. That's what I'm talking about. Woo! Yeah, baby.
They hurt.
That's cool, man. We are set up. Solar panel on. Nice 7-watt solar panel. Sweet. Facing the sun. Plug her in. There we go. Rock and roll, boys. All right, guys, now I'm going to show you the steps on how to build a sled feeder. So first of all, you want to start with finding a 55-gallon drum. You don't need to buy these. You can go buy paint stores or local businesses where they utilize these types of drums, and usually they'll give them to you for free. I've never had to buy one. You can find them at paint stores. Go to your local paint store. They carry a lot of xylene in these things, and they're looking for people to get rid of them. So the only thing is you want to be really careful. A lot of times these things are filled with very, very flammable materials, and you want to fill these things with water, wash them out really good, and then fill them with water as you're doing your cutting out of your lid. So anyway, so this is the initial stages of getting started with this, is getting a barrel. The other things that you're going to need is you're going to need some good tools. You're going to need a rip saw like this. You're going to need a reciprocating saw. You're going to need a high-speed grinder, metal cutter, and then it's also really nice to have if you have a metal chop saw. You don't have to have one. You can cut things with the high-speed cutter. So you're going to need some basic materials there. And then most importantly, you're going to need a good set of glasses and a really good set of earmuffs. So when you start to cut this out, it's going to be extremely loud just because of the echo in this barrel. So you're going to want to make sure you take all the safety precautions you can to stay safe, and because it is going to be very, very loud. Few things on this. I plan on using a funnel. Let me see where it is. I've got a galvanized funnel here that will go into this barrel. I painted it. They come just with a galvanized look, but I paint mine on the bottom and on the top because I have had them rust over the years. They do last a really long time. But if you want them to last a lifetime, paint them. And I paint them a gloss to give them a nice slippery shine so that the corn's always funneling down to the funnel on a slippery slope. So one of the things you want to remember when you're doing this is when you're cutting this edge, the lid out of this barrel, is that you don't need to get the edge of this all the way even with the inside of this barrel. You can leave I don't know, it's like 1/8 of an inch or 2/8 maybe, and this will still go in. So this is a little, it's a little hard to manipulate, but you can kind of squeeze this and get it down in. But this really would simply, if I just push this on down in here, it'll go down into the barrel. So that's not a problem. So don't feel like when you cut this lid out, it's got to be flush up against the side of this barrel. You can leave a little bit of lip there that you're going to want to grind down sooner or later. A few tips on cutting the lid out of this thing. I've learned the hard way, and the tips I'm going to show you now makes it really easy. You can cut this thing out in about a minute with a rip saw if you're using this technique. So what you're going to want to do is first drill a couple of big holes in the side of this so that you can get this wide metal blade started into the hole. Now, what you don't want to do is hold the saw straight up and down as you go around it. It's going to want to eat into the side of the barrel as you go around. The way to do this is you're going to want to tilt the whole saw at an angle like this, and then you're going to want to tilt it to the outside, and you're going to want to lay this flat blade on the rim of this barrel and just let it ride on there. And so when you do that, as you're doing that, you're at an angle, tilted outside, and you're just riding the rim all the way around. Now, as you're doing that, you want to twist or torque the teeth part of the blade, the teeth part of the side of the blade towards the middle of the barrel so that you're following the curve all the way around, and that way it won't walk on you into the side of the rim. and it literally, you can just let it rip and go all the way around it, and within a minute you're through the lid on this. So again, be careful when you're doing that for sparks and all that. Make sure you got water in your barrel, that you have no flammable materials. So next, you're going to want to drill your hole in the bottom. As you can see, I've got a 2-inch hole already drilled, centered and drilled into the middle of the barrel for the funnel to go through at the bottom. So with that, now we're just basically going to do some prep on this barrel. I don't know if you can see it with the camera, but there's the welded seam right here in the middle. And there's a little bit of a rust line on there. Don't know if you can see that. A little bit of rust on the inside of the barrel, but not too bad. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to wipe it out really good, and then I'm going to paint the inside of this barrel. I'm just sick that way. So preparation, longevity, I just think it's going to make this barrel last a lifetime with the moisture and sometimes that corn provides inside these barrels. So anyway, it'll last a lifetime. While I'm doing this, I'm just going to go ahead and do it right. Paint the inside and outside. I have other ones I've never painted on the inside. They're still lasting, not a problem, but just on this one, I'm going to go ahead and paint it. So anyway, the other things that you're going to need is you're going to need some EMT piping. Now I've got 2 sticks of 10 feet for 1.5 inches. That's 1.5 inches EMT. You can get it at Home Depot or Lowe's in the electrical department. And it's got a galvanized coating on it. And then I've got 1 stick here that I've cut in half already of 2-inch pipe that I'm actually going to use as the skids. So I've already cut that in half. And then what you're going to want to get is a 2-inch elbow. Again, you'll find these parts right by the EMT piping section in the electrical department. And you're going to take this and just cut it in half. And then that's going to become the fronts of your sled, so that you can pull it and it won't dig into the dirt. And we're just going to weld it to the 5-foot pipes, and we're going to make us a nice sled. So reason I went 2-inch on this, I wanted to have some surface area under here sometimes for hogs and that kind of thing. You're in some soft area, and it just will, when you're dragging it, it'll just ride a little bit better with the wider pipe. So, and it gives you something really sturdy to weld to as well. So that's what we're doing there. And again, on this barrel, as you probably remember from the first part of the video, this is a nice height of a feeder so that you can pour corn in it. It's not too high. It gets it up off the ground enough that animals can't bother it too much. And for that, we're also going to add this varmint cage underneath the feeder. So just to keep the hogs from bumping their head, or deer and that kind of thing running into the box. So we're going to install this when we're done, and that'll protect the base of the drum. Now, I'm not going to add the spinner box in this part of the video. You saw that in the first part of the video. I'm just installing the funnel and the cage at this point. And when we get to the farm, we'll add the solar lid and then the spinner box onto the bottom. And also we're going to, the other thing you're going to need is, I've chosen to go with 1.5 inches by 3/16 angle iron to build a square base in which this drum will sit on. So I've got 2 4-foot sticks there, and we're going to cut this out to make the base to let the feeder sit on that. So anyway, that's all the stuff you're going to need to get started. So let's start putting this thing together. All right, guys, made some progress. Got my barrel painted both on the inside and on the outside. I've got a couple coats on the outside, a nice smooth finish on the inside. I cleaned all the rust out of the inside, painted everything really good. So this thing should be set up for the long haul of that corrosive corn rust that happens inside of these feeders. So should be good. My funnel's all painted. It's ready to go in when we get to that point. But the barrel is set to go. And some other things that I've gotten done are I've got the elbows welded to the skis. So this was, if you remember, this was the one elbow that I cut in half and then welded it to each one of the skis. So we are set on the ski part. Now on the four corners, you're going to have to. What I've done is I've created this. This is a 1.5 inch angle iron, 3/16 thick, very, very sturdy. And the barrel is going to sit on top of this, just like this, right? And then the four corners, the four posts that I have cut, I'll show you in a second, are going to go on each of the four corners. And when I set the barrel on top of this, I'm going to tack weld it to this frame, because I don't ever plan on taking this feeder out of the field. And if I do, and I need to change it for some unknown reason, then I'll just take a cutter and I'll just cut the tack weld off and be done with it. Take me about 30 seconds and I'll be done. So otherwise you'd have to rig up some little bolt systems, and I've seen people do this where they screw a nut that goes above the rib of the barrel, and it keeps the barrel from coming up, and you do it on four corners. So you could do it that way as well, but I'm just gonna grind it, weld it, it'll be there forever. So anyway, I got this ready to go. This is ready to be welded. And then these are the four corners, the corner posts that will go up underneath each of the corners of the base. And I'll weld this down to the skis. And then we'll figure out the bracing that goes around the bottom once we get to that point. So anyway, that's my progress so far. And as I get things kind of squared away, and I'll tack weld everything together with the frame on top and the legs and the skis, and give you a chance to take a look at it. So stay tuned. Hey guys, all right, I made some progress. So we've got everything put together. It all looks really good. Really happy with the way it turned out. One of the things I did decide to do is I decided to flip this frame upside down. If you remember, I was going to weld the barrel to the flat part of this this frame, and I realized that once I put the barrel on there is that I was losing 1.5 inches of depth from my spinner on the bottom of my barrel. So that meant I was going to have to drop my spinner box down another 2 inches to clear this 1.5 inches right here. So I didn't want to do that. Because with the feeder being lower to the ground already, I wanted it to be able to sling corn at a far distance, or as far as I could. I just didn't want it to hit the bar and everything fall straight down below the feeder. So that's just one minor change, not a big deal. It just made me have to create these little bolts that go around all four sides. It actually screws in right above the rib on the bottom of the barrel, and it's really tight, so it's a really great fit. So real happy with that as well. But I just wanted to kind of give you a walk around on this and just kind of give you a sense of how sturdy this thing really is. All right, so we got the skis put on it. It looks really good. Everything came out really nice. This bottom 2-inch piece of EMT is 5 foot long on both sides, with about 1 foot of elbow added to it that we welded to it. So these are nice and give us some surface area on the ground. These corner posts that you see, these are all cut at 42 inches, and that gives us a perfect height with the barrel to still be able to reach up and pour a bag of corn in the top of this feeder without it being too tall. So and if you need to use this as a step, you could also do that, because that's plenty strong. So so I'm real happy with the height of this, the way it's turned out as well. So we've got our eyelets on here, welded on here. We can put our rope on there, or chain, and pull this thing anywhere we want to go. The cross braces right here, where these go across, these are cut at 33.5 inches from end to end, and then they're crimped with a vise, and I weld them flat right here on the ends. So those turned out real nice, and it sturdied this up really, really good. I'm so happy that I used the 1.5 inch piping, because as you can see from these welds right here, that it's welded all the way around, fits nicely on these corners. And this is 1.5 inch angle iron, 3/16 thick. And when you weld these with the angle coming down in the front and the angle coming down in the back, it's just extremely sturdy. So when you push on this thing, it's not going anywhere. I have no doubt that even with 300 pounds of corn in this barrel, that this baby is not going anywhere. So looks really good, real happy with it. Just wanted to kind of give you guys a view of it before I take it out and make it pretty with some paint. So give it a good coat, and I'll bring it back in so that you guys can see it when we're all finished up and we'll put the barrel on it. So anyway, just wanted to give you guys an update on my progress. Everything looks really good, really happy with it, and I'll see you when I get it painted. Hey guys, just wanted to give you a real quick final walk around of our feeder sled. It's all done. It's all painted up. It'll protect it from the weather. Really happy with the way it turned out. I love the way that it's open under here because the bracing is so strong, welded up at the top and at the bottom, that we didn't need to put a brace on the side, and that way deer and hog can get under here and pick up any corn, and keep it clean under there. So I really like it. I have no doubts when that feeder is full of corn that this bracing is going to work absolutely perfect. So it is sturdy, sturdy, sturdy. So anyway, that's it. Let me show you real quick how the barrel connects down to the frame and show you how sturdy that is. I've just got the 3/8 bolts welded on all four corners here, and as these screw in, if you can see there, these are basically all hand tight, but as it goes in, it tightens against that rib at the bottom even more. So I don't even have them tight, I just have them finger tight, and they're on all four sides. But let me show you how sturdy this thing is. I mean, you can pick this thing up no problem at all with just the four bolts holding it down. This is front back to front, front to back. I mean, there is no slack in this barrel sitting in this frame at all. So really cool. I'm just really happy with the way this thing turned out. I have no doubt that you guys can build these things as well. So I can't wait to put it to use. And just wanted to thank you guys. Hey, if you like this video, please like it and subscribe to our channel. We'd love to have you part of all of our future videos that we're going to be creating for hunters. Cool stuff that we think about, then we design it, and then we build it. So that's the cool thing. And I know that there's a lot of other hunters out there who are probably thinking of the same things that we think about. And maybe us working together, we can build some pretty cool stuff. So anyway, I want to thank you for watching the video. Remember, next time you go hunting, to take a kid with you. You will love it, and they'll remember it for a lifetime. God bless you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Take care.